Sealing your defender to your off arm and getting yourself into an unguardable position. Welcome back to Streetball Strategies.
Guess who stepped on the scene? I got greatness all in my jeans. Ain't no way that I can slow down. I'm laced up, look how I shake the ground. Can't touch the ground, but you can kiss.
By sealing, what I mean is you seal the side of your body, the off arm, the off side of your body, to the side, or at least to parts of your defender's body as you're driving past them to get to the basket. So what I'm talking about when I say sealing your defender, what I mean is getting them into a position where instead of them being directly in front of you and being squared up between you and the basket, you get them off position, off balance just enough so that you can get beside them, so that you guys are now parallel when it comes to you getting to the basket instead of them being directly in front of you. And you do that by using the off side, the off arm of your body to make a seal against them as you go by them. I'll set up the ideal scenario about how you would go about doing that in a moment, but for now, let's just talk about why doing this is important. If you seal them correctly, they can no longer impede you from getting to the basket because now they're on your side. And they can't reach the ball because the ball is over here. They're over here on your side. The only thing they can do is reach around you, probably going to draw a foul if that happens. And because they're beside you instead of being in front of you now, they can't stop you from getting to the basket. All they can really do is hope that maybe help comes over to stop you from going directly to the bucket. And also, if you do this on certain sides of the basket, depending on which direction you're driving, which hand you're using to drive with, one area, one side of the basket be more ideal than the other. For instance, in the scenario I'm about to set up, you're going to be driving to your right with your right hand. So if you do that on the left side of the basket, you're going to have your defender on your left side, meaning not only is he not going to be between you and the basket, he's going to be on the side of the court where the baseline is. So now you've sealed him not only from being in front of you, but also you're now using your body as a shield as you go to the basket. So now let's talk about the perfect ideal scenario about how you would use this move. Now, while you don't have to have the ideal scenario in order to do this, you can do parts of it from any position on the court. The ideal position would be, so in this scenario, you're going to be using your right hand to drive to the basket. And in order to get your defender out of position, you're going to do whatever move, your go-to move, whatever you use in order to get your defender off balance or out of position, or whatever you got to do to get parallel with your defender. For me, because you guys know I'm a simple player, I keep things simple. I don't do a whole lot of step back moves, a whole lot of spin moves, nothing like that. I just keep things simple, and so my go-to move is going to be a simple jab step. So I'm going to jab to the left in order to get my defender off balance or out of position. And just for this scenario, we're going to assume it works. And it doesn't have to be a huge in position to the defender. He doesn't have to be way off balance or way out of position just because I jab stepped him. But the point is, you do it enough to give yourself just the slight amount of room, the slight moment in order to be able to step around him, step past him, and then get your body parallel with your defender. So you get your defender out of position, and as he's out of position, you now come back to your right and step by him, step around him in order to get your body parallel with him. So the perfect ideal scenario would be like you pull your fake move, your jab move, whatever, to get your defender out of position and they fall completely out of the play, like you completely break their ankles just from a little jab move. But because that's not likely, obviously, and because he's going to recover, when you pull that fake move, whatever your move may be, and you get that little sliver of space to step by them and get your body onto them, the part of this move that is unguardable is the part where as you step by them and you make yourself lateral to them, you seal the side of your off arm, the off side of your body, to their body. You make contact with them as you go by them to the basket. So you're sealing your side of your body to their body. You're making contact in order to keep them off balance so that they can't recover and get back in front of you in the basket. And you only need just enough contact with them in order to keep them off balance. It doesn't have to be anything hard. It doesn't have to be anything even solid. It only has to be just enough to keep them off balance. You don't want to get some kind of offensive foul. So because that seal that you create between you and that defender acts as a shield for the ball and impedes a way for you to get to the basket, that's what makes this move pretty much unguardable. So this is a crude example of how to do this, but seeing as I don't have another player out here to act as my defender, let's just say for scenario's sake that this is the defender. What we're trying to do is, if I'm face to face, completely face up with my defender, he's directly in front of me and he's directly impeding my path to the basket, right? In this scenario, what I want to do in order to get him off balance is I'm going to fake to my right so that he will then move to my right, or at least be a little bit off balance, a little bit out of position. Maybe he opens up his hips a little bit, giving me a little bit of a leeway to the basket. Whatever it may be, it only has to be just enough so that when he gets out of position, I can fake back, step next to him, right? Or ideally around him, but usually it's going to be right next to him. And then as I'm stepping next to him, I make a little bit of contact, whether it's shoulder, whether it's hip, right? Just to make sure that I contact that defender so that he can't get back on balance and get back in front of me. Also keep in mind, when you have this defender in front of you, he's going to be in a defensive position, so meaning his hands are going to be out, especially when you catch him off balance and he's trying to recover. He's going to be reaching in order to try to stop you from getting around him. When that happens, what you're going to have to do after your fake is his arm is going to be out right here. His arm is still going to be in your way, even though his body hopefully is a little bit over in this direction, giving you a path to the basket. So because his arm is still here, what you're going to have to do after your fake is come through and swipe and swim his arm down and around and behind you. Now this can be a good thing because as you're stepping through and swimming that arm down, you can use this defender's momentum who's trying to recover and get back in front of you. You can use that swim move to use their momentum against them and create that seal right here against the side of your body. So essentially, you get the fake, he's off balance, you step through, you swim his arm down, and as you do that, you're not quite pinning his arm right here against you, but you're allowing his momentum to bring him in next to you, so now he can't get back in front of you. It's not a great example, but it's the best I got. That is sealing your defender to your off arm and getting yourself into an unguardable position. I hope I explained and illustrated this simple move well. Honestly, it's hard to do. It's hard for me to explain and show you guys a seal when it's just me out here by myself. So if you guys have any questions about how to do this, what I'm talking about, anything that you need me to clarify, just let me know down in the comments, and I always answer the comments. So thank you guys for watching. If you found this video helpful, as always, please give me a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. Subscribing is huge. It's the biggest thing you guys can do to help me out at this point in this channel's lifetime. So new subscribers, welcome, and anybody who hasn't subscribed yet, please just hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. I really do appreciate it. Also, that notification bell, so YouTube's notification algorithm is not always the greatest. It doesn't always work as I would like it to, as any of us would like it to. We're not always notified when our favorite YouTubers come out with a new video, unless you hit that subscribe bell so that you are definitely notified when every video comes out. So make sure you hit that bell so you're notified when all of my new videos come out. Thank you guys again, and I will see you next week.
Feel the energy rising, I'm feeding off of the crowd. My feet stomp the ground, the sound is so loud. Pump it up, I can hear the chants and cheers coming in from the top. And the champ is here, lace them up, let you wanna be last. Must be Ramadan, cause I'm coming in fast. It must be Comic-Con, all I see is a mask. I'm electric, I don't need the gas. I've been locked in, but never been boxed in. Only options, the top of the top 10. Always ready to go, just say when. Let's begin, I'm gone with the wind, cause ain't no stalling. I go all in, hold the line, I hear greatness calling. Break the walls, you see them falling. 3, 2, 1, here I come without warning.
Get ready for it.